Hello and welcome to another update for my Mets Rome theme team for Out of the Park Baseball 25 Perfect Team. And in this season, we're in the year 2045. And last season, if you remember, we had a tough division and somehow we fought and made it into the playoffs and actually made it to the Silver League. So we're in the Silver League right now. And coming into the season, I was not sure what to expect from the Silver League and whether we would compete or anything like that. So we're going to go over that right now because usually when you go up leagues, you're not sure how well you're going to do. And this is actually the first time we've been in the Silver League since I think it's April or May, some like 5 weeks in since we started. You can just go back and look at my other recaps and see how long it's been. But it's been a long time since we were in silver. But there was sort of a interesting catch about this league, which I'll go over after I reveal the record. So why don't we get right into it right now? So we're on our pitching right now, and Christian Scott 14 and 12, 3.90 ERA. Didn't have a fantastic year, but he wasn't horrible. And actually, maybe expected a little bit more from him because he's been our best pitcher in previous seasons. But he's kind of finding that, I don't know, maybe breaking point is the right word, but like we're in that that sort of part where it's like, all right, this is the league where he's going to struggle a lot. Bronze League, he's clearly dominating, but in this league, he is, not quite as dominant. So 3.90 ERA, it's not horrible. 14 and 12, a lot of wins, a lot of losses, but that's just the way it is. Jacob deGrom, 11 and 13, 4.51 ERA. This pretty high ERA, I should say. Let me go into the game log. His stats aren't quite as bad as they appear when you look through it. And he had a lot of rough patches. So let's go into that game log. You might have to go full screen to see this. And so you can see at the bottom, this is the ERA column, and he had rough patches, in May, gave up 5 runs, still under 4 ERA, and then he gave up 5 runs again in May, in late May, so 2 5-run games in May. And then in June, he gave up 4, then 5, so that put his ERA at 4.87. Then here's where it ballooned. July, last 2 starts of July and first one of August, his ERA ballooned to 5.03. And after that, he wasn't terrible. He only had 1 start in end of August where he gave up 5 runs, but then he finished the season with 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs, 2, 2, 2, bringing his ERA down to 4.64. Only issue is that he only went 5 innings, like 4 2/3, 5 innings. He gave up 5 earned runs in 3 innings here. So he's definitely not eating innings, and his card sort of shows that he's not able to go that far in games. So, that's the only disappointing part about this card is not a whole lot of stamina. So let's go right back to the pitching. And we got Syndergaard, 3.48 ERA, 10 wins, 12 losses, loss record. Not great, but he was our best pitcher. And Syndergaard has been one of those cards that I think he had a down year last season in the bronze. Yeah, the last 2 seasons he had an ERA between 4.45 and 4.32. I can just see that by highlighting. But 3.48 can't complain. And this is a card that I might want the special version of, the combinator version of at some point. But it's still working for me. Somehow, some way, the Syndergaard card, one of my more reliable cards as far as being good. And yeah, Bobby Ojeda, 10-9, 3.63 ERA. Actually surprised by how well this card performed. I actually upgraded the combinator to 4 stars at the end of the season. So that might have something to do with it. But Bobby Ojeda card, one of those cards, it didn't really work out that well last season. He had a 4.96 ERA in the Bronze League, but the card performed a lot better what I was hoping it would be, and I did have to tweak some settings with the strategy and all that, so generally not too upset with Bobby Ojeda. He's moving in the right direction, and he might actually be my second. I might actually move him to that second slot in the order for next season, possibly. So we'll see about that. Ron Darling, 4.26 ERA. I decided to leave him in my rotation and take out Frank Viola. Turned out to be a decent pitcher. Not great, but not horrible. Obviously a better ERA than DeGrom. Let's go take a look at Ron Darling's card. So you can see that that his card, his combinator, only 1 star. I haven't upgraded his card completely, and so that might be a consideration in the future. Now let's look at his stat line. Looks a lot cleaner than DeGrom. Here are some things to look out for in this stat line. I might need to go full screen. He had 5 runs end of April, put his ERA up to 3.52. Then he gave up 4 in May, then 5 again in May, put his ERA at 4.43. Then he pitched decent, giving up 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, then 2 in mid-June, putting his ERA at 3.51, and then he had 2.2 innings, giving up 8 runs. I don't know why he was left in the game, giving up 8 runs. Seems like a failure of the game, if you ask me, but he gave up 8 runs and 4.23 ERA from 3.51, and that kind of ballooned his ERA. And then he proceeded to give up 2, 3, 3, 2, and then that wasn't that bad, but then he gave up 4, then 5, and then 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, and then 6, putting his ERA back up to 4.54. Then 2, then 4, then 1, 1, 1 to end the season. So he actually wasn't as bad as his stat line. Another one of those, like, one really bad start ballooned his ERA with the 8 earned runs. So can't really say that he was horrible. But yeah. That's why you have to look at the stats before you condemn a starting pitcher's ERA. It's one of those things that the more you watch baseball, the more you follow baseball, you'll kind of understand that there's a lot more to the stats than what you see. And so, understanding the game and how the stats came to be are important. So let's go to bullpen now. Now, this was a season where I had started with a new pitcher that I got, Skip Lockwood. And so let's go. Tug McGraw, 2.28 ERA, 32 saves. Not bad. Not bad. Billy Wagner, 3.65 ERA. He actually bounced around in my pen. I had him moving up and down. And I should tell you that during this week, I was not, I didn't have access to the game because I didn't want to buy the app. And so for 2 days of the week, I believe it was Tuesday and Wednesday, so May and June, and most of June until the last few hours, I didn't make any changes to my team, any lineup changes, any bullpen shuffling or anything like that. So that might have ended up hurting me. So just letting you know that little factoid. And so Wagner didn't have a great season, and I actually had him as a middle reliever at some points in the season. Roger McDowell, 3.74 ERA. Another one, kind of inconsistent. Had him in middle relief for a short period, and then I decided to move him up. Skip Lockwood, probably the disappointing addition, 4.04. I thought his card would perform better. I had him as a setup man in the 8th to start the season, and I decided to take Frisella out in his place. So maybe Lockwood will have a better season next season. Maybe I gotta tweak his settings a little bit more. We'll see, but not the investment that I was hoping. I expected a little bit more from this guy. Orozco, 3.54 ERA. He's actually pretty good. Impressed. Edwin Diaz. This is a card that might end up dropping off at some point. A 4.63 ERA. Have him as a void, high leverage. Can't really see that here, but that's where I have him. And like I said, it's a live card. You never know. I might end up taking Edwin out of my bullpen in place of Frisella or Viola. We'll see about that. And yeah, let's see how well Edwin does next season. And Craig Swan, long reliever, 5.72 ERA. A little higher than I'm usually used to with Craig Swan. He had a 2.85 last season in bronze and 3.38 before that. Yeah, this is where might get dicey with the long relievers. But Craig Swan, maybe he'd be a better starter. You know, if Ron Darling doesn't work out as a starter or something like that, I might move Swan back into the starting position. We'll see. He actually has his stats on his card are actually better than Ron Darling's at the moment. So we'll see about that. Bartolo Colon, 4.85 ERA, avoid high leverage. I'm happy with that. Not too upset. So let's go to our lineup. And overview. And right away you should see, well, maybe not right away, but a new addition to the team. David Wright. They released a David Wright silver card. And he is now my third baseman. He is actually better than Howard Johnson, even though it is a silver card. This is what the card looks like. Not bad. Might have to go full screen to see this. It's a silver 2006, and his defense isn't particularly great, but his hitting is a lot better than Howard Johnson's all the way around. And yeah. So let's go back here and see the stats. So I like sorting by average most of the time. So Edgardo Alfonso, 296, 17 homers, 99 RBIs. Bobby Bonilla, 25 homers, 101 RBIs. Let's see. Dave Magadan, 289. He didn't have that many at bats, but he did bat 2 homers, 32 RBIs. Maybe I gotta get him more at bats. David Wright, 279. 6 homers, 29 RBIs. Not bad. Piazza, 272. 16 homers, 72 RBIs. And by the way, David Wright only played 57 games. So maybe over a long season he would get to 20 homers. So we'll see about that. Kaz Matsui. You might be wondering why he's in the lineup. Well, Lindor was bad. He was tanking with a 1.53 average, 153 average. So Matsui actually hit pretty well for me. Hit what I would have wanted from him. So not amazing, but not horrible. Darryl Strawberry, 262. 24 homers, 75 RBIs. Not horrible. Kind of his wheelhouse in that 24 RBIs, 70 RBI range. Beltran, 19 homers, 66 RBIs, 250 average. Actually, his average is better than it was in the Bronze League. And yeah. He was batting like 213 and 197 in bronze, so can't complain about Beltran. Cedeno, 246 average. By the way, Beltran had 67 stolen bases, so that's a lot of stolen bases. Cedeno, 40 stolen bases. Not bad. 4 homers, 46 RBIs. And let's see, 4 homer. His average also a little bit better than the previous leagues, so that's interesting. Cespedes had a bit of a drop off in average, batting 233, but he did have 30 homers, 88 RBIs. So that's not horrible, but the average drop off isn't great. And then Duffy Dyer, 150. Don't really expect much from him, so that's acceptable. And so, yeah, Howard Johnson goes to the backup spot. So yeah, that's my hitting. Not horrible, but not great. Kind of in the middle. Now we're going to reveal the record. So now that I've showed you my stats, you can guess my record in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. My team finished 83 and 80, and we made the wild card on this side, the last wild card, and it was pretty interesting at the end of the season. The season ended with a 3-way tie, and I had to. There were two people fighting for the division. This Boomsticks Unpacked team with this Macabre team. They had a one-game playoff. I played the loser, and I beat the loser, which was the Boomsticks. So I made it into the wild card round, and then I ended up losing in the wild card round, which is disappointing. So I lost 2 straight to Macabre. Unfortunately, in the second game, my Billy Wagner blew the game. My Christian Scott pitched well in the second game, but Wagner blew it and McDowell gave up a run. The first game, they just pitched better than me. They gave up 2 runs. I gave up 3 with Ojeda. So it is what it is. You know, in this game, home team does sort of matter. And yeah, so we lost in the playoffs. We performed a lot better than we expected. Now, I did tell you in the beginning, there's something a little bit unique about this Silver League. You'll notice a lot of teams with PCK in their suffix, because in Out of the Park baseball, you can actually tell your team to play with other people, specific people, and remain in a certain league. So this is probably PCK probably stands for PAX, a PAX only team. And so yeah, they are probably all PAX only teams. So I'm not sure that this is as representative of what the quality of the Silver League is compared to others. So we're going to remain in the Silver League, and yeah, we're going to be remaining here in Silver, and hopefully we can still compete. That's why, you know, you never know from season to season. You saw a lot of my recaps before. Some seasons are close, some seasons are not close. But I do want to lay a little warning that next season might be a little tougher because it's not a PAX only. Not every league is going to be PAX only, and have players that are trying to play with each other with those parameters. So we're going to remain in the Silver League, and hopefully we do well. So now we look forward to next season, and you know, hopefully we do well. And as you can see, I got packs, 447 packs, and don't need to open them yet. I got that David Wright card pretty cheap, actually. But now there are a lot of combinator versions I might want to get. So maybe I'll open packs soon. Maybe I won't. I don't know. What do you think? Think I should open packs soon just to unload them, or should I wait? I'm leaning towards waiting, but if you, my subs and my viewers, want me to open them, I'll consider opening them a little bit sooner. Let me know in the comments. So, thank you very much for watching my recap. The Brooklyn Mets realm. My team is still going pretty steady. And like I said, as long as my team is competing, I'm going to continue to do recaps until I feel like I can't compete anymore. Now, I did mention in the comments that the drive for the pennant mode is now in the game, and I'm planning on doing that mode, but I'm waiting for it to come out of beta. And I've also kind of thinking that as long as I'm doing this perfect team series, I'm not going to do that at the same time, because I don't want to have two simultaneous things going on with the same game at the same time. It's kind of one of those channel decisions that I'm making for algorithm reasons and how I want the channel to be branded. So, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. If you have any questions about my team, I'll be more than willing to answer them. In any case, I want to thank you for watching. And yeah, another season in the books, 2045. Hopefully in 2046, we continue our competitiveness. Thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. And of course, if you like indie games, I do that coverage as well, and other type of stuff like conferences and giving opinions of various things. I also have a boxing series coming up in October, as well as a series already in the books for career mode on my YouTube playlist. You might want to check that out if you're a boxing fan. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and have a nice day.